What's going on, everybody? My name is Jason. Welcome to Redfish Bluefish. This is the channel where we examine art, nature, and science through the lens of the aquarist. I'm set up at a little bit of an odd angle this time. I'm switching back and forth between cameras because my backdrop isn't the best. We're going to give it a couple of minutes, let people file in, and then we're going to get the show started. Let me switch over to the main camera. See how laggy that is. It's been a little bit laggy today. I've got a blue backdrop. It doesn't seem to like that very much, but it's acceptable for now. Looks like we have 26 people in here. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you coming by and committing at least part of your Saturday morning to hanging out with me here in the shop at Redfish Bluefish. We're having some really gross weather today, man. I woke up and apparently sometime in the night, it just started drizzling like a maniac. Before I go any further, can I get an audio check, please? I can see video. Video looks okay to me. How about audio? Can we get an audio check? 1, 2, 1, 2. Now we're back over to the backup camera. I think that's a little bit better, at least for now. Better angle. Checking out chat, seeing if audio's good, and if it is, we will continue with the show. Don't want to waste too much time here. Looks like I need a shave. Bad. Okay, the sound is good according to Geek Boy and others. Nice, appreciate it. Yeah, I'm kind of having to sit back a little bit further than usual from the microphone. Sometimes your mileage may vary with that kind of behavior. Anyway, you guys, it's time for the top 10 early bird. You know what that means. These are the first 10 people who were in chat. Now, like I said, I go live, I say it all the time, I go live at 10 a.m. Pacific time every Saturday. At 8 a.m., 2 hours prior to going live, I sign in and see who's in chat. I'm in a live chat, not top chat. And I write down from 10th place to first place all the people who were there early, and they get shout outs. Kind of just a little thing that we started here at Redfish Bluefish. We might not do it for too much longer, but we're going to do it for at least today. Okay, guys. In 10th place, we have Color Guppies. Congratulations, Color Guppies. Appreciate you coming by. And in 9th place, a new name I don't remember seeing before, Deb Hall D. Thank you so much, Deb Hall D. Appreciate you coming by. 8th place, a good buddy of mine, Danny Ken Aquatics, tuning in from Oregon Way. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. In 7th place, Signore Paul Soltero. Paul, thank you so much for clinching 7th. 6th place, another good dude, EJ Fishes 76. Thanks so much, EJ. Appreciate that. In 5th place, Jeffrey Watts. Jeffrey Watts, thank you so much, man. And in 4th place, another good dude, Fish Ion Tanktics. All right, guys. Now, this is 3rd place. This is where it starts getting a little bit heated. In 3rd place this week, we have Leah Joan Jett. Congratulations, Leah. In 2nd place, we have Natural Aquariums, also tuning in from Oregon Way, I believe. Congratulations, man. I really appreciate it. And in 1st place, drum roll, Mr. Manifesto. Mr. Manifesto, yay! Congratulations on taking 1st place in this week's Top 10 Early Bird Challenge thing, whatever we call it. Hope you guys enjoyed a little Top 10 shout out. Like I said, I'm not sure if we'll be doing it too terribly much longer, but, we're doing it for now. I'll probably do it a couple more weeks. I'm not sure once we open up the shop, beginning of May, early May, if we'll have time to sign in that early and do that. I hope we can continue either that or something similar to it. But anyway, guys, I wanted to show you guys some new fish I got in. Not tons, but I got in some really, really, really cool stuff that you are not just going to come across probably in any other fish store. I don't think I've ever seen them for sale in any fish store, either of the fish that I'm about to go into. I'm also going to show you some other cool living stuff that I brought into the shop. We're really stocked up on some good stuff. I also did some DIY handyman work over the last couple of days to take care of a problem, and I'll jump right over to grab the walkabout cam in just a second once I have a sip of Go Juice and a hit off of my nicotine inhaler, nasty stuff. And we are ready to get the show on the road. Oh, let me switch the audio over. Sometimes I forget. It's not a good experience when I do that. I'm glad I caught myself. Let me switch over to the old walkabout cam, which tends to be kind of hissy, but it is what it is. All right, how about that? That should be decent, but hissy. All right, let's take a little stroll ski through my very, very messy shop. It's not as messy as it has been in the past, that's for sure. Now, guys, I talked about a week or two ago, I think 2 weeks ago, about an unfortunate incident that had happened in the shop. I'll explain why this happened. You see this long light up here? It's got this switch built into the cord. This is a super long, supposedly full spectrum light. This is a 5-foot long light. Very, very difficult to come across these 60-inch lights. 48's no problem. Anything above 48 though, it starts getting kind of sketchy. But what happened is, I don't know, several months ago I imported a whole bunch of fish, and a lot of importers will tell you one of the tricks that a lot of importers use to guard not so much, well, not at all against ammonia spikes, but nitrite spikes, which are real, real bad. Salt. Minimum 1 teaspoon per gallon, which sounds crazy to people. Trust me, it doesn't hurt a single fish. And it guards against nitrite poisoning, which is called brown blood disease. Nasty stuff, even worse than ammonia poisoning. Long story made short, I had a whole bunch of salt in this aquarium here, 20 teaspoons of it. And I wasn't paying attention, and this little switch, I was moving the light and it went bloop, and it went in the water, and it got full of, basically, not salt water, but pretty salty fresh water. And boy, did it just corrode the bejeepers out of this thing. It won't turn on, won't rock anymore. So we have to do something about that, especially with the shop opening up. I've got the spotlights trained on these tanks here, so they're getting, they're getting light. I mean, the fish can see, but that's not sustainable. It's not right. I want to take care of them, little pea puffers. Yeah, so this one is an exact carbon copy. This is the top on the other rack, right? Here's the broken one, and here's the non-broken one. I'm gonna replace this one too, so they match, right? Now you saw my DIY lighting that I built. I got these kind of DIY, do-it-yourself kind of strip things here. Uh-oh, looks like this popped out here. I'm gonna have to fix this. So I built these DIY lights, and they work great. They're variable. You can turn them up, turn them down. The fish can see just fine, no problems at all. Got one down here, same thing. And same here, and same here. So I wanted to do the same thing here, but what can you affix it to, right? There's nothing above it except for ceiling. You could hang lights from the ceiling. I thought about that, but I don't want to do that. It's a pain in the butt, and I just know. So I had an idea. All right, let me explain my crazy idea to you, and I'll show you what I built. I know you guys have seen those clip-on lights, or those like you go to Petco. A lot of times at Petco or PetSmart, they have these low iron rimless aquariums, kits. Like it's the aquarium, it's got a built-in filter usually in the form of some kind of spillover style, filter of some sort, sump or whatever, but in the tank. And that sort of thing. And they'll always come with a not very good, usually, LED light that clips on to the back of the tank. Like it's basically, it's got a little groove in it, and it clips to the back, and it's got a gooseneck that comes up. So it's like an L, right? They're clip-on lights. I know you guys have seen them all over the place. So I thought to myself, what those rows need are basically like a massive clip-on light, a massive one. So I thought, why not? I've done crazier things. I want to DIY and build myself the world's largest clip-on light. In fact, some that are so large, they're not clip-on anymore, they're bolt-on. So check these things out. I present to you the world's largest quote unquote clip-on lights, metal reinforced like crazy. Each quote-unquote clip-on light has 2 rows of light bars. Let me show you what they look like. These are 6,000 K, by the way. Here we go. Just like that. So I built these in the garage. You see metal reinforced like crazy. So I thought you guys would get a kick out of what could probably be the world's largest DIY, like I said, quote unquote, clip-on lights. And they're gonna go, they'll be affixed to this very, very sturdy boom. That's a air ballast support boom. One there, right in the middle. Right about, I don't know, there-ish, will come out and hang over. And then the same thing on the other one. Right about there-ish, will come out with the long bars and illuminate the tanks really nice and pretty. So I thought that you guys would enjoy these crazy, like I said, massive clip-on lights on steroids that I built. It's gonna be good to get those lights just laying on top of the tanks out of the way and off, you know, of sitting directly on the tanks, because let me tell you, it sucks getting fish out of there and then running into that light, and then you got to readjust, and it just, no thanks. So I'm gonna jump back over into chat and see what you guys think of my little invention. As a reminder, when I'm on the old walkabout cam, I cannot see chat, so you'll have to bear with me. You have to bear with me, folks. I need some more caffeine, sorry. Let me, okay. Let me jump on over and see what's going on in chat, and then we're gonna continue with the tour. Okay, I'm scrolling up here. Yeah, I got a comment here from, well, let's see. Looks like I got a comment here from Leah Joan Jett. Leah says, hardware stores sell those rocker switches so you can just replace the switch. Yes, but the light is kind of crap. You know what I mean? It's a Chinese light. It's got a lot of blue in it. A lot of blue. And not just blue, actinic blue. So, you know that that's going to grow algae. I mean, big time. There's too much blue in those lights. And I realized it about a month into the purchase, so I started realizing, you know, any tank that those Chinese lights were over, just bloomed. Just algae twice as bad as any other tank. So. It was an informed purchase. I knew going into it that could very well happen, but I was willing to take that risk and just, you know, nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? It was only a few bucks. So I'm gonna scroll down and see what else I missed. Bear with me. Yeah, Natural Aquariums with a similar comment. There shouldn't be hard to wire a new switch. Yeah, again though, the lights were just not really worth it. Oh yeah, I appreciate that. Sean OOTD says that actually looks pretty good for what you need. Yeah, I mean everything in here is wood and handmade. I mean I had to build everything in the shop. There's nothing available commercially in sufficient quantities for me to, you know, bring in a whole bunch of prefabricated racks and what have you. I mean, we started building this shop right in the you know, the peak of COVID, unfortunately. So we had to do what we could do. Hey, appreciate that, Chevy Fish. Chevy Fish says radical light setup. Nice. Yeah, it's going to be very nice to get those lights off the top of those aquariums, like just like Natural Aquariums just said. Real bummer to have those sitting right on top of those aquariums that are set up lengthwise with the skinny edge facing out. Oh man, it is not fun to get fish out of there. When I got those, I had the same lights on top of every single row of tanks on both of those racks. And when I got rid of those lights on the 4 other levels, oh man, it was a godsend. I could get fish in and out. I could see everything. I mean, it was so easy to work on it compared to before. So I'm pumped up about getting those things mounted. I left them switched on, which is why it's so bright. As you can see, each little package that comes with 3 light bars and all the connectors and stuff, it's like 20 bucks. They're pretty bright. And the great thing is, you don't really have to worry that much about them being too bright because they're variable. You can just dial them down. Paul Sotero says, we'll know how good those lights are once Bentley reviews them. Yeah, I bet you he will. I bet you he will. My buddy Bentley, man, he is the... well, he's a beta tester, software tester. His job to discover flaws in things and break them if they can be broken without going overboard. And that's what kind of makes him such a good product reviewer, in my view. Besides the fact he's wicked smart. Okay, so I think I caught up. I think I'm all caught up. Yeah, Sean OOTD. Sean OOTD, shockingly, has some shell dweller advice for you, Leah. He is our resident shell freak. Freak in a nice sense. Okay, guys, take another sip, and we're going to continue with the tour. We're going to work our way back to the awesomeness, to the most awesome. That we're gonna save that to the end. Come on, forgive me, but I need the watch time. I'm just kidding. So, the next little treat I have for you may not be super visible because they are in an aquarium that I am treating preemptively. Now, the fish are healthy, they're fine. They came in and started eating right off the bat. But with that said, these are very, very, very rare fish. These are tetras, by the way. And I know that I have some subscribers and some customers that are just like me. I love tetras, like small tetras, really weird, hard to find out of the way, like the red laser tetras, the double veil tail neon tetras. I'm a sucker for those. Any kind of weird, beautiful tetra that'll school together and just really chill you the heck out after a terrible day at work. Those are the fish that really interest me. So these are high on the list. These are incredibly good fish for schooling. Now I'm going to tell you the scientific name, but I warn you in advance, these are adolescents. They're not fry and they're not adults. They're somewhere in between. They're, as the breeder said, they're in the ugly duckling phase, but wait until they get adults. I'll show you a photo of a full-blown adult here in a second. Check these guys out. Let me squat down. You can see how well they school, I think. Let's see if you guys can guess what these are. They're kind of shoaling more than anything right now. This is the blueberry tetra. Its scientific name is Hyphesobrychon wadai. Hyphesobrychon wadai. W-A-D-A-I. You can look it up. Just search for H. wadai. You see there's a bluish tinge to the water because I did preemptively hit them for external parasites, hit them with a decent little antibiotic and an internal anti-parasitic. That's about it. These guys are really, really healthy. This is definitely, if somebody had like a top 10 list of rare, probably won't ever see in my life tetras, this is going to be on them. This fish was only discovered, quote unquote discovered, probably by some white guy, in 2016. So it has not been around nearly long enough to really hit it big in the hobby. But I will tell you, that this native to Brazil fish is already very big in Brazil. It's in many, many, many Brazilian aquariums, and it's not particularly cheap there either. Even though it's popular, it's getting popular there. It's still retaining its price pretty decently. So they're just chilling out, hoping for a bite to eat. Now I want to go over, like I said, they're definitely in the kind of ugly duckling phase, no question about that. They're not really displaying that much color yet or anything like that. We're back near the light, as you can tell. The blinding light. Blinded by the light. Isn't that a song? Okay. Sorry for showing you the hand. I gotta fix the camera. Let me hop over to my control window and show you what these guys look like as adults. Okay, this is why when I heard they were available, I was like, shut up and take my money. Now, check these guys out. This is an adult specimen. Yes, yes, yes. Now you see, they get this blue-purple sheen on their side, this and kind of a highly reflective white lateral line. Their belly is kind of, I don't know, bronze, a little bit orange bronze, but around their edges and their fins, their finnage especially, they get this really brilliant orange. And now that's kind of steely gray blue on their side. When they're feeding and when they're excited, they'll often turn purple. Like instead of looking like that, they'll turn purple, which is crazy. It looks like I may have missed a couple of things while I was over there. I apologize, guys. Again, just full disclaimer. When I'm on the walkabout cam, I can't see chat. I can't see super chats or super stickers, anything like that. So apologize if I miss a few things. We got a 99-cent super sticker from the NDT show. Thank you so much, man. That means so much to me. That's so kind of you. It really does help. It really does. And it goes to making more content and hopefully having more time to edit. Jeffrey Watts had a comment before that I just caught. Now that you've created those lights, they'll be emulated by some big manufacturer. Probably. Probably. Okay, and I did see another super chat, which is killer, from my good buddy, Dannykin Aquatics. Appreciate it, man. Dannykin Aquatics says, loving the new changes to the shop. Looks amazing, my friend. Thanks so much, man. I really appreciate it, buddy. You've been incredibly supportive throughout this thing. And, you know, another shout out to Dannykin as well as Atkins Nature Aquariums. Both of those guys came all the way up to Washington from Portland, from another state, to give me a hand here in the shop when I really couldn't get a whole lot of help otherwise. And it really helped out, man. Thanks again. Thank you so much, man. But I just wanted to show you an adult specimen of this Hyphesobrycon wadai, or if you prefer, people seem to have settled on the common name blueberry tetra. I'm not sure how much of a blueberry it looks like to me. I'd probably pick a different name, truth told, but it's an interesting looking fish. And like I said, like other Hyphesobrycons, they're gonna school like crazy, especially if they feel a little scared, a little threatened. They're just gonna school up and move as one huge body, which with a colorful fish, yes, please, I'll take more. Hey, thanks so much, Jane Aquarium. I just caught that comment. Jesse over at Jane Aquarium says, shocking great, Jason. Appreciate it, man. Thanks so much. And I have more stuff in the shop to show you. Hey, Dan Slee, I just saw you pop up there. Welcome, buddy. So, now let's move on with the show. Let me move over and switch over, rather, and change back to the old walkabout cam. There we go. Now, what do I have to show you fine folks next? Is it a fish? Is it some weird cockamamie invention I came up with out of necessity. No, it's neither of those. So I want to actually, just come around the corner and show you guys what you can expect. See, we got a few little Java ferns here. We got a dozen medium-sized Java ferns, but that's not the star of the show. We are having lots and lots of excellent plants roll in, guys. Lots and lots. Close to $1,000 order I brought in. We got these 40-gallon breeders absolutely packed with some great plants. There we go. This is Ludwigia ovalis. This is a really beautiful plant. Forms kind of teacup-shaped leaves. Really, really pretty. Not particularly difficult to grow. Likes decently good lighting, water column fertilization. Definitely will appreciate CO2, but it doesn't have to have it. Next here, this is called Pogostemon stellatus narrowleaf variety. This is the narrowleaf variety. Again, really, really nice plant. It's good. Let me sit down here. Excuse me. It's particularly good at being placed in the background. It's really frilly and it adds a lot. It fills in a lot of space. Fish really, really dig hiding in it. It's really good if you're a fish breeder or like a guppy person or whatever, because fry can get up in there and they're just not going to get caught. It's just all there is to it. Also, got some little Anubias nana petite in. I couldn't get very much of it. I only got a half dozen of these guys in. Not very many. They're very, very healthy. Really beautiful looking little specimens. We've also got some good old wisteria. Good old water wisteria. It's a very, very easy plant to grow. It doesn't really require too much special consideration. We've got about, I don't know, a dozen or so packs of it in here. Another really good plant to use in the background. It does feed from the water column. Basically, all plants in this tank, all plants, these are all stem plants in here. They are going to feed almost exclusively from the water column. Very little, if any, from the roots. Largely, roots on stem plants are really anchoring mechanisms for the most part. They do feed from them, but very little, comparatively speaking. Okay, next. One of my favorite Anubiases of all time. Anubias coffeefolia. Got some of this stuff in. There's some more over there. Really, really beautiful Anubias plant. Definitely my favorite. I love that leaf shape. As it gets older, it just gets more and more rippled. It gets more and more, I don't know, character to it. It's just an amazing Anubias, and really easy to grow too. It doesn't require high light. You can get away with low light. It likes to feed from the water column though. These roots that it has are, like I said, more of an anchoring mechanism than anything else. So it feeds a lot from the water column through its foliage. Okay, all this here, this is Ludwigia palustris. This is regarded as probably the smallest, quote unquote, smallest, once it's converted, the smallest Ludwigia that you can get. And with sufficient CO2, water column fertilization, and light, it will turn brilliantly red, really, really red. I got a bunch of this stuff in. It's a nice plant. Right here, see, got a bunch of it in there, whole bunch of it. It goes way back. A whole bunch of it lined up. This is Limnophila hyperodoides. Limnophila hyperodoides. This is an advanced plant. This is not an easy one to grow, really. It's not super hard. Well, let me take that back. I don't consider it an advanced plant, but I'm kind of a plant guy. This is more of like a medium, like an intermediate difficulty plant. It does much better with CO2. Absolutely needs good light and water column fertilization. This, which is in the process of converting right now, this is definitely an advanced plant. This is Rotala macrandra. Rotala macrandra. Next, this plant is called Amania gracilis. Amania gracilis. You see, it's really, really pretty. Even under, you know, not like high-tech aquarium necessarily conditions, it's really billowy leaf shape. It's got nice pinks and kind of brown rust tones to it. Really kind of pillowy, billowy, lovely plant. This is Ludwigia needleleaf. It's going to be converting, and it will have really, really thin green, brilliantly green needle-like leaves. This is actually called Ludwigia arcuata. Under really lean nitrogen fertilization and high light with CO2, stuff turns orange, really orange. It's quite a striking plant. And finally, cousin of this plant, this Limnophila hyperoides, this is Limnophila aromatica. So named because it's got a really pleasant smell. When you pull it out of the water, you kind of crush some of the stem and smell it. Really lovely smell, very aromatic. So this is one tank, just one. So I got a lot of these plants in because they're not going to be terribly challenging for most aquarists. Now a few in there, like some of the hyperoides, the aromatica, a few others could present a little bit of challenge to some aquarists, but that's kind of the point. You do need to carry, in my opinion, some plants to push the envelope a little bit to challenge people if they're up for the challenge. So these are pretty much all labeled, so I'm just going to give you the silent tour. Beautiful Radican swords. Very, very healthy. Anubias hastifolia. Cryptocorini wintii red. This is the red variety. You can see it's doing really well. Got a bunch of the red. This is Anubias nanji. I'm sorry, this is Anubias nancon, I apologize. This is Anubias nancon right next to Anubias nanji. Then we've got some, of course, you gotta have your crypts. You gotta have some crypt lucens, some crypt lutea. They're very, very similar in appearance, by the way. Lucens is longer stems for sure. Slightly larger, slightly longer leaves, but as you can see, very, very similar in appearance. And of course, it wouldn't be a party without red flame swords. Yes, indeed. One of my more favorite swords. I got a lot of variety in them. So this is kind of the crypt Anubias sword tank, I guess. Moving on, let's see, can you guys guess what this is? Boom. What is this strange alien-like plant? What do you guys think this is? What could this be? I got a ton of it. I got a supplier who sells it literally by the pound. If you don't know what it is, let me give you a bit of a hint. See them roots? They look mighty, mighty red. Well, that's your clue. This is an entire floating armada of red root floaters. As you can see, I've got them over on this side of the tank. Red root floaters do not like water current at all. They do not like it. They don't do well with it. They'll take mild current, no problem, but you know. Let me actually walk over and make sure that since I'm on the other side of a bunch of aquariums, I am kind of afraid that the signal's kind of cruddy. So let me go over and see if that's okay. And don't worry, we'll pick up right where we left off. For some reason, cell phones and cell phone signals, man, they just do not shoot well through water or aquariums filled with water. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed that in your fish rooms. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we didn't drop anything, which is kind of weird. I kind of expected to. All right. Well, let's continue with the tour then. Just wanted to check that, guys. I could have been on the other side of the shop just talking into myself. Talking to myself. It's happened. It's happened. All right, here we go. We got some more swords. People love swords, and I love them too. This is the Kleiner Bar sword, yeah? Kleiner Bar. Really, really nice leaf shape. Very, very healthy plants I got from these cats. It's a family-run operation, family-owned and family-run. I got all these plants from, and it means a lot to me. I like family operations, man. They're nice to work with. Got the Ocelot green sword. And of course the Ocelot red. As you can see, the Ocelot red is so called because of that. You see how it's got a very red appearance to some of the newer leaves. And as it gets older, they'll definitely red up even more. We'll get more and more red. Now this tank doesn't have too much in it. This is actually spillover. I ordered so much I had to expand a little bit. Let's move down here. This plant, this red plant, beautiful plant, people call it scarlet temple. In fact, it's called Alternatera reynickii. That's not correct. Scarlet temple is not AR. Scarlet temple is technically Alternatera reynickii var rosifolia. So it's a special variety of Alternatera reynickii. In fact, I intensely dislike the name Scarlet Temple. It's a stupid name. This is AR var rosifolia. Rosifolia is the name because under good lighting, it gets really beautiful pink with red tones, a little bit of variegation through it sometimes. Really beautiful plant. And of course, it wouldn't be a party without some Hydrocotyle tripartita var Japan. This is Japanese paintwork or Japanese tripartita. It's already going bonkers in the back. It's rooting out and kind of exploding on me. See that guy? He's happy. Lobelia cardinalis, aka the cardinal plant. It's got a really nice kind of purple tones to the leaves, purple stem, very lovely plant. Quite easy as well. Lobelia cardinalis is very easy to grow. People will think that you're an aquatic genius if you get a tank of that going, because it's really striking. Next, we've got some dwarf hairgrass and some regular old Bolbitis water fern, some broadleaf. I tried to get some narrow leaf, couldn't get it. Too tight right now. And I'm really pumped about these two. I love these two plants, guys. I love me some Titleus, and I really love me some dwarf aquarium lily. Quite healthy specimens as well. Very healthy. Nice leafage, nice foliage on it. I mean, look at this guy. He's popping. And he's barely a week old. And of course, you got to get some dwarf sage. People love their dwarf sage. I like it in the right aquarium. It's not my favorite plant, but it certainly has its place in the right aquarium. And our vowels. Little jungle val and Italian val. A jungle val, so-called jungle val, is really Vallisneria americana. It's not so much jungle val as it is an American val, but that's just what they call it. An Italian val, got plenty of this and plenty of that because, I mean, it's a very convenient plant to give to customers when they come in and say, my water's 8.0 pH, TDS is 300, and I want to grow plants. Well, here you go. These two will love it. So there's even more plant selections there. Let's jump up here, guys. This is Pogostemon stellatus broadleaf. Now remember over there, this is Pogostemon stellatus narrowleaf. Pogostemon stellatus broadleaf. Now you see the broadleaf variety gets a lot of purple tones going on, natural purple tones. So this could be a really nice choice for an aquarium. One of my all-time favorites, I actually tissue culture this myself, Ludwigia repens mini super red. Teeny tiny Ludwigia repens variety. And buddy, when you get it under sufficient light with good nutrition, you give it a week or 3 to convert, it turns red, like blood. It's really something else. This is Proserpinaca palustris. Good old mermaid weed. Next to Amania senegalensis. This is an African stem plant. Not an easy plant to grow. This is, medium approaching advanced skill level. Definitely needs water column fertilization. Definitely appreciates CO2. Really quite gorgeous plant though. Really quite striking. All right. So we got some pennywort. Good old pennywort. Hygrophila willow. This is a really tall hygrophila that's really quite leafy, quite lovely. It's really good used in a background. It's a really leafy stem plant. It fills in those voids really nicely. It'll do very well for you, I think. This is some water onion I brought in, a bunch of it. This is actually not a true aquatic. Now it will live underwater happily. But this is actually used a lot in terrariums and ponds. This will happily grow underwater. But I decided to bring some in because when you take 2 or 3, maybe 4 of these pots, you get them out of pot and you clump them together in the back and you put them in a corner and you get some filtration, some water flow moving through them and they move, they wave in the water. Man, let me tell you what, it really brings a lot of beauty and character to aquascapes and aquariums. So that's why I brought some of this in. This is called blue hygrophila. Not that it's blue at all. That's just the name of it. It's similar. Here, let me back up. This is blue hygrophila, and this is willow hygrophila. So you see that they are similar. They are similar. Clearly, the blue hygro has much smaller foliage and has those rippled leaves. I think that the blue hygro is probably a little bit nicer, just based on my opinion. I mean, on my taste, rather. Of course, good old lace leaf water sprite. Can't go wrong with that. Hygrophila araguaia. It's very, very popular as a mid and foreground plant if you keep it trimmed down. Very, very interesting shape. It's used a lot in aquascapes around stone and wood. And finally, one of my favorite really easy plants to grow. I absolutely love Brazilian pennywort, guys. I don't know about you. Look at those little shoots. There's little tiny leaves, little shoots, little sprigs of life coming off of it. I mean, man, if that doesn't inspire you, I just can't get through to you, man. If this doesn't, this doesn't evoke something inside of you as a fish keeper, as a hobbyist, then I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. So there we have it. 1, 2. 0.25. 3, 4, the stem paradise. You know me, guys. I love my stem plants. I am a sucker for stems. Easily my favorite plants. I mean, look at the bands of color and texture, guys. How can you not like that? All right, guys. Oh, and I forgot. I wanted to cover this too. From this supplier, I was sold a dozen of these. These wire mats, they make them in-house, right? This looks just like, I don't know, crap. It's like dead whatever. It is not crap, trust me. This is Taiwan moss, also known as Taiwan triangle moss. It's a very strange moss. when it grows leaves out, it sends out a filament with little tiny needles on each side, and it makes these triangles, these really cool triangles that pop up everywhere. So I brought these in. I'm selling these for 10 bucks each, which is a good deal. They're not cheap. What you do is you just take one of these and you throw it in one of your planted tanks, right? And you give it light, water column, fertilization, what have you. What happens is this thing will start growing moss, like an entire, wall of moss will start growing off of it. At that point, you can take it out, of your aquarium and trim all that moss off, collect the moss, and then glue it all over your aquascape, whatever your hardscape, you want to use it on. And then you just throw the mat or the little wire mat thing back into the same aquarium, and poof, it makes more moss. So as long as you take care of it, it's like a never-ending source of moss. If you're worried about getting algae in it or any of that stuff, no problem. Throw some Amano shrimp in there and don't feed them. Trust me, they will eat every last bit of algae or anything that could start growing on that triangle moss. So wanted to give a little shout out. That's what these are. They're $9.99, I think, is what I'm pricing them at. They're not cheap, but it's a great option for somebody who uses a lot of moss from time to time and is tired of paying $10, $12, $15 for each tissue culture cup, sterile tissue culture cup of these rare mosses. So I wanted to point that out. All right. Now, before I show you the creme de la creme of today's live stream, come over here and get another sip of tea because I am dragging my butt today, guys. I'm sorry. I just could not get out of bed. I'm usually like a early to bed, early to rise, keep an old man schedule basically, but the last week or two, man, I cannot get to sleep earlier than like 2 a.m. and it's killing me because I come from government, military, all that stuff background. We're hardwired to wake up before the sun comes up. We're hardwired to do that. We can't get around it. So when you stay up until 2 a.m., man, and you got to get up at 6 a.m. because you're hardwired that way, it doesn't take too many days of that before you're done. You're done. So anyway, guys, let me show you what's going on here. What's up with this guy? Sorry, I'm just checking a fish here. Got a fish with some problems. I have to take care of him. Anyway, let me show you what I got. Check these guys out. Here we go. Do you know what these are? Do you guys know what kind of fish these are? These are Ivanicaria adoceta, also known as the zebra akara. Wow, wow, wow. I'm just gonna film them for a little bit here. There's a total of 21 zebra akaras in here. Rio Icona, by the way. These are Ivanacaria adoceta Rio Icona. The noble zebra akara. In here with a massive tank full of black Venezuelan corridores, of course. Let's check out some of these lookers without scaring them. Look at him. Look at bad boy here. How about that, huh? So what do you guys think of that? That is something else. I am so pumped up to have finally gotten some killer high quality akaras in here, man. Zebra akaras, no less. Definite Holy Grail level fish, man. Unicorn fish, as my buddy Sean called them. So, aqua balls, I need some ASAP immediately. All right, let's see what I missed here in chat, guys. We're gonna wrap up really soon tonight. We got like 5 minutes left. Natural Aquarium says, I assume you are going to inject some CO2 into some of the systems, but haven't seen any evidence of a system. Yes, I will, but only as required. A lot of the plants that I brought in, natural aquariums, don't require CO2. Now, some of them do, but many of them don't. So let's see. Hey, Jeeps and Things is in here. My bro, say hello to my brother, people. That is Jeeps and Things. Corridorus Zone Aquatics guessed it. Ivanacaria adoceta. Exactly. The zebra akara. Let's see. Yeah, they're going to color up really nice. Daniken Aquatics there with a comment. These will color up so nice. He's got 8 of these amazing fish. Yeah, they're something else, man. They are just amazing fish. Aquaball saying, bag me a pair, I'm on my way. Okay, buddy. It's a long drive, man. We'll see you when you get here. We got them. Paul Sotero asked me a question here. Jason, do you have access to a Pisto Niseni? Yes, I will have some next Wednesday. I will be bringing some, well, they're supposed to be in next Wednesday next week. Supposed to. We'll see about that. Yeah, these are F1s, by the way. These are F1 zebra akaras. Rio Icona. Chubbs Aquatics here. Did you miss the showing of the plants? Yeah, you did. But Chubbs, buddy, you can just scroll back in time after we wrap up the live stream. In fact, we're going to wrap it up right here, right now. Guys, I really appreciate you coming by and hanging out with me. I've got to wrap up. I got a lot of work to do here, and I got everything covered that I wanted to. Really appreciate all the support. Thank you so much to my mods. We got a new mod here, by the way. I asked my buddy Sean OOTD if he would consider modding for redfish, bluefish, and luckily he agreed to help us out. We've also got George from Aquaballs, a couple others here. Thank you so much to my moderators for keeping the trolls out and keeping things flowing and all that. Thank you so much to my super chatters and super sticker donators and all that good stuff. Let me just do a quick scroll and make sure that I didn't miss anybody making a very much appreciated donation of a super chat, anything like that. I think that we're good to go. So, and finally, thank you to each and every one of you subscribers for coming by and hanging out with me while I show you these weird rare fish and cool plants and talk about my bizarre world's largest DIY clip-on light that I designed here. It means a lot to me that you'd give up an hour of your Saturday to come by and hang out with me in the shop. So guys, you've been watching Redfish Bluefish, and we'll see you next Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific time right here on YouTube. I forgot to say it last time, and I'll be darned if I'm going to forget to say it this time. I wish you all peace, love, and happy fish keeping. We'll see you next weekend.